All right, everyone. Thanks for stopping by once again. The Exit Your Way Roundtable with me today. I've got Mike O'Connor. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, Damon, how you doing, man?
I'm doing just fine. I'm excited to talk with you. It's been a long time since we've been on video, and in fact, I think it's been about a year since we've done anything that's resembling live. And
It's been a long time.
yeah,
For the people who don't know, my name is Michael O'Connor. I'm with the serviceprofessionalsnetwork.com website. It's a social media website and a business directory. It's free, like Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, just like 0.00001% as big, but it's a lot bigger than it was yesterday and the day before. I mean, we went from growing 3 to 4 people a month to 3 or 4 people a week, and now we're averaging about 75 to 100 people signing up a day and creating accounts, listing their businesses. So we're growing now on a fairly consistent pace. But our app just got approved through the Google Play Store. Should be making its way through the Apple. We got a few bugs we're working on, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But
yeah.
it's going to be in Apple and Google stores as SPN Local, Service Professionals Network Local, because it's designed to help local business owners connect with local customers and people, and it's a professional networking and social networking website.
Yep. Got it up right here.
See?
I can see it, but it's up on my phone right now.
It's hard to see. Ira, okay, you guys may not know this, but Exit Your Way, they do a weekly roundtable discussion where Damon, Andrew, Ira, and a few other people partake in the conversation every week. They tend to bring on weekly experts. Damon, I don't know how many people watch your live shows, but I'm just going to talk like I'm talking to my friends or talking to people actually.
There you go.
So I'm just going to start talking. So Damon and his crew do this weekly roundtable discussion. It's about an hour or so long on Thursday mornings. It's usually pretty awesome. They talk about anything from vitamins to mental clarity to growing a business, scaling a business, professional networking. And then they actually sponsor my website, the Service Professionals Network. They're one of a handful of sponsors. They contribute financially to my website. So I guess it's like a paid advertisement if you guys are actually watching this. People don't believe I get paid on anything because, I live with my mom and all that. But Damon here is actually a really smart guy. He helps people scale their businesses. So if I got him and Andrew buying my bullshit and believing in SPN, you guys should go create an account because they're smart guys. They help people sell their businesses. I mean, they should be paying attention to you guys. Seriously though, it makes me feel good.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I got real business people believing in my shit, so that's cool.
You do know what you're doing. I'll tell you that the exterior that you may put on is different than what's inside. So,
are you saying I'm not exactly professional or the most polished guy?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying,
I think I'd be the first one to tell you that.
I'm just saying that when it comes to understanding how to do what you do and how to get a website to rank for domain authority, whether you're trying to, what are the kind of things you should be doing on your SEO, everything from keywords to backlinks because you've had to do it. And I think that's really relevant for so many people, that
it's relevant for anybody that has a website, anyone that runs a business,
because they're inundated by people every day that say, "Oh, I can do this and do that," and then just give me $250 a month, and we're going to get you to the top of Google. It's like, come on, let's be realistic about some of this stuff, and look at the people that you're.
There are so much ways it's kind of like plumbing, right? You have a plumbing problem. You ask 100 different plumbers, they'll give you 100 different solutions. Yep. I mean, the internet is a wild, crazy thing, and nobody knows the exact secret to Google, right? But a lot of people have great ideas on how things work, right? And there are some people that do some amazing shit for a couple $100 a month.
Yeah.
But there are few and far between, right? And most of the time it's like a niche marketing thing. Like, this guy's really good at helping plumbing websites or animal control websites, and they're just good at writing a certain type of text, or, that's their niche, that's just what they're good at. Or, they have big monster sites like Neil Patel and some of these other guys that rank really well. And if you pay them, they drop a few links here and there or drop it in front of their social media thing, and all of a sudden, you get all this social media traffic, your domain authority goes up, but what did they really change? So different ways to skin a cat. I enjoy figuring this crap out, and I never really cared until I started wasting money on it myself. I was paying people
Yeah.
arms and I mean, I dumped so much money. It sucks is I borrowed money from my mom to learn some of this shit too. Because I'm like, I spent all my money. Let me borrow money from my mom,
Yeah.
and it's but now I feel like I can rank just about anything. I got a few different websites I've worked on recently. Thankfully, they all rank pretty well. And I don't have an ebook. I don't really sell SEO services. I help people out, and a lot of people ask me why I don't do that. And there's a couple different reasons. And it's not necessarily that I'm lazy, but there's other things I like to do with my time. And I'm one of those guys who I think about death a lot. Like, do I really want to spend my time making websites for other people? And two is I do a social media networking website, right? I want you SEO guys, I want the website guys to come pitch their services and their trade on my site. So why would they if I'm competing with them?
Yeah.
So I don't really.
That's a good point.
I mean, think about it. I don't want to compete with nobody for the. If I'm as good at website design and development and social media and networking and all the shit that people say I'm good at, and I just kind of like I enjoy doing. I won't say I'm an expert or anything, but I enjoy doing it. People think I'm good at it, right? If I'm really good at it, right? Do I need to sell these services, or can I get by with a few sponsors and generate enough traffic by providing value? God, I don't even know if I like the word value anymore. It's up there with pivot and all these other mind control terms that I got, I don't want to be talking about lead generation or providing value or telling people, hey, you gotta go find your why. I don't want to be any of those guys. If you want to ask me, Damon, do you want to tell them my goal is to make the biggest impact possible with the least amount of effort, right? But I'm serious. But people think, it sounds like you're a lazy ass that just likes to talk. Well, I do like to talk, right? Not that I'm lazy. I'm an ENTJ personality type, right? So I like to get other people to paint my fence, but to do that, I'm pragmatic, right? I know I got to give people a reason to help paint my fence. Hey, Jordan, hope you're doing well. Yeah. And, providing that value, right? I feel like if you have a website that has a high domain authority, it's easy to post shit, or you can share your links and your YouTube videos on and get actual value out of it, right? Well, now I can't be a lazy bastard, but you know what? It took me all that work and time to figure out how to build it, how to get people to help me build it. Thank God for Jason or Jacob Warren with Warren Research, IT guy, helped me. So, thankfully, through networking and talking crap on social media, I learned enough and met the right people to kind of put my money where my mouth is. And, how many people can say they sat down with a laptop with no idea of what the @ sign even meant, above and beyond tagging people. I mean, I taught myself website design, CSS, and all that crap through YouTube. I literally started off with www.me. And the power of LinkedIn networking. If you're not building a network on LinkedIn, especially if you own a business or have a job, I mean, if you're retired and you're happy with life and you're checking out, you just want to go off in the sunset, that's cool. Do whatever, right? But if you're in your 40s, 50s, 30s, if you're not financially stable, if you haven't sold your business or have a solid exit strategy, you're absolutely insane if you're not on LinkedIn at least 15 to 20 minutes a week. I can't, especially with nobody saw COVID coming. Nobody saw this stuff coming, right? But it's kind of like the squirrel that puts away a few nuts in July. When September rolls around, that squirrel's not stressing things. You see the lazy squirrels that didn't think ahead; they're going nuts. That's why they call them squirrels, right? Same thing with people. Like if you lost your job or got laid off, and you're at 400 or 500 people on your LinkedIn network, or God forbid you haven't made your LinkedIn profile, right? You're like asleep at the wheel. It's like not having life insurance. Hopefully none of us kick off, right? But if we do, we don't leave our family with a big hole, do we? It's way.
The thing that I think that a lot of people get hung up on is that LinkedIn is the only way, and I don't think anyone says that LinkedIn is the only way. It's just that when you look at the ways that you can do what you can do, LinkedIn makes it easier because you're in a place where there's professionals. You can, and especially with COVID. I mean, this year was a weird year, obviously, but to be able to meet people, and especially if you were looking for a job or something, this is, and we didn't get on to talk about LinkedIn, but I just think that as part of what Jeff Graham would say is a multi-level, fishing strategy. He said you never know what depth the fish are at, so you need to be fishing at all levels. I mean,
well, look at Twitter, look at Facebook, any social media platform with a lot of people. Hey, Joseph, another guy who sponsors SPN, so I gotta tell you guys, go check out JoeTheFinanceGuy.com.
Joe the finance guy.
You know,
Yeah.
I love the guy. But one of the point is, you know why I suggest LinkedIn of all places, besides the fact that's where all the jobs are? It's really the easiest place to build a large network. It's the easiest place to build a large audience. It really is, because when people go to LinkedIn, they're in job mode. They're in professional mode, right? They're there, a majority of them. You know, some people like me just like to go stir shit, look at cat memes, you know, make a few jokes and get out, right? But a lot of people are there in that business mindset, right? Because they can't do Facebook at work, or, you know, God forbid, they're using their company computer to be on Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So LinkedIn is kind of like an acceptable place for a lot of business people to be on, you know, right? So, you know, it's why a guy like me, you know, who I thankfully think I'm a little bit more entertaining than some, right, stands out a little bit with less effort, because I say things a lot of people don't. I walk that line, right? So what I'm telling you is, I know from experience with, you know, the amount of effort versus the amount of reward I've gotten, that LinkedIn by far and away is the easiest way to get your name out there, to build your skills, and to learn things from people that are actually doing it. However, there's guys like Timothy Hughes, right? He's not the biggest guy on LinkedIn. He's a monster on Twitter. I mean, the guy's got like 5 different accounts with like 100,000 followers. You know, I mean, he literally made himself a world famous, best-selling author, worked with some of the biggest companies in the world because he's good at Twitter. And then you got my buddy John White, who's got 250,000 people. He interviewed Mark Cuban, Des Bryant. You know, I mean, John, when I first met him on LinkedIn a few years ago, he was like you or I. You know, he had a few things going, but, you know, he wasn't like, hey, I just interviewed Mark Cuban big. You know what I mean? But he rocks Twitter, you know? I mean, so no matter what platform you're on, you know, consistently, you know, they can all work to your advantage, but do one or the other before, you know, you really need it.
Yeah. You know, that I think you make a good point there, is that LinkedIn, you know, there's not another professional website like it, right? There's not. And
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. The Service Professionals Network is coming up, an up and comer, that's for sure. The thing that LinkedIn has now that you don't find on Facebook is you don't see as much of just the crap. And I don't know
enjoy the crap. You know, honestly, like, I laughed because somebody told me, you know, you can't have that on Service Professionals Network. Like, first of all, it's my freaking site. I can have whatever I want, right? But here's the thing. When they first made LinkedIn, they didn't know it was going to be what it is today. When they first made Facebook, they were hoping it was going to be. Look, I made a social media website that you can post things. I made, you know, you can make your own groups. As long as you're not hurting people and breaking the golden rule, I really don't care what you do. If somebody wants to build resumes on there and make it all professional, that's fine too. But if the drudge of society, you know, all my friends in my Facebook groups want to come join it and start posting memes, I don't care. If Apple, you know, Apple's giving me a hard time because I got to work on the audience ranking and, you know, make it easier to block people, making it easier to report things, which it is, but the app's not as easy. I got to fix a few things. But my point is, I really don't care. I just want people to have a good time online, get some good domain authority backlinks to their website. If you're a YouTube guy and you do yo-yos, for example, my buddy Dylan Kowalski, he's got 180,000 or something, big number on YouTube, right? He's a yo-yo guy. Like, who even plays with yo-yos anymore? He has 180,000 people that can't wait for the next yo-yo video. So, I mean, you can do anything you want to online. And that's not a knock on Dylan. He's probably making a lot more money online than I am, you know, he does like box, you know, openings for different products and stuff online, and he talks. He did a few things for his pet dog. Dude, I'm a fan of his dog. If he makes a YouTube channel for his dog, I'm going to subscribe to that. So, I mean, like, and I think a lot of people are that way, you know, so I'm just trying to get a little small piece of the pie with Service Professionals Network. And quite honestly, I really don't care how people use it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and let's back up, because one of the things that you said that people might not quite understand about you is and the Service Professionals Network is there simply is one rule. It's the golden rule. It's just, you know, and really, the lack of a better way to say it, it's just don't screw with people. you know.
I just like to keep it simple. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a, I swear, I use bad language. I partake in, all kinds of different sins, sure. Right. But like, just treat people right. I don't think it's that hard to ask, And besides, I like to keep things simple. For a guy who built a social media website, like some simple works for me, man. Just follow the golden rule. If more people did that, online or offline and just in general, we wouldn't have a lot of the crap that we have going on now.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's what, like, again, you look at Service Professionals Network, you don't see the crap. You see some of the funny crap. I mean, I like there's some of the funny stuff that's really good on there. But
there's so much room and leeway to be a
yeah,
degenerate without hurting people's feelings or getting all up in their safe space. And don't get me wrong, I'm not woke. I don't like the cancel culture, that's going on with this world here. I grew up with watching, Red Fox and Sanford and Son and some of these, hard school 1970s. Like, you get in jail for some of the stuff they used to say on TV. It's, honestly, people need to lighten up and be more respectful all at the same time, because it feels like either people have no empathy or they're self-righteous and just all in everybody's face. Like, oh, how dare you use this word or that word? It's a word. You know what I mean? Like, people get so upset because, somebody said this way, and I prefer that they said it this way, right? Well, now you're just getting hung up on the particulars. You know what I mean? Like, obviously there's some words and things people should avoid saying, right? But when you're censoring everything that everybody does and you're just trying to make a sterile society, crap, are we even the melting pot anymore?
Yeah, it's a good question. I do. I think that there's as you said, and this well, is that people that haven't really studied how social media works don't understand what the algorithms on a Facebook or on a Twitter, LinkedIn to some extent, but I don't think they have the content that really pushes it like it does on a Facebook. Is that if I'm on there and I talk about a site about Chevy Impalas, right? A 68 Chevy Impala hot rod. I'm liking pictures on the Chevy Impalas. I'm going to get fed more and more and more, every bit of that they can find if I'm doing that. And how that trains you is really something. And it can be just about anything that happens. And that's just, I think that's the base thing that a lot of people don't.
Do you know one of the biggest things I like about my website, and the search engine and all that stuff on my website? It's as simple as the golden rule, buddy. Like, literally, there's a filter on the app and there's a filter on the website. Nobody even sees the filter. Nobody knows how to work the filter, right?
Yeah.
But the filter is public, friends, just me, and mentions. So you can see all the stuff that you're tagged in one column. You can see all the stuff that you've posted in one column. You can see all the stuff your friends post, and then there's a public feed, right? Yep. You want to get more views on your stuff? Do you know how simple it is? Every time somebody likes something on Service Professionals Network or on the app, do you know what happens with that post? It goes back up to the top of the feed. So if somebody goes and likes something that you post 3 years ago and likes it, guess what? It's on top of all those feeds. So when you go to your app or you go to your website, you can change what your filter is between your friends, the public, or however. So let's say you got 500 friends on my site, right? But there's 10,000 people. You may not want to see all 10,000 people. You might just want to see what your friends are up to. So you just change it to your friends feed, see that, right? But now if somebody likes something that your friend posted 3 years ago, it's always going to go up to the top.
Yeah.
So you can literally sit there, like, unlike. And you know what? I couldn't care less if you did that. Do you know why? Google ads. I make money off Google ads. So if you want to sit there and click things all day long, go ahead, pal. Make yourself the most popular person on my website. I don't care.
That's funny. That's funny because you've taken it to a different level. The one thing that sometimes when you look at the people look at you and they go, "Oh man," and I'm going to use it. You said it earlier. He's batshit crazy. And right. So anyway, let's get past that point. Now, there is a method to the madness behind this, and I know that this just cut that shit for a second, and I'm sorry I'm cursing a couple times here because I don't usually try to refrain.
I bring it out on people.
Yeah, but you know, you do a lot of good, and I don't think that, I think that you don't ever say that, but you know, you've raised a lot of money for charities, and you donate to charities, and you help people.
I will say it when it's pertinent to do so. Like, I don't like to toot my own horn or tell people, like, I'm not one of those guys, like, if I go feed a homeless person, I'm not going to take a camera with me. All right. I'm not going to be like, you know, hashtag helping homeless. You know what I mean? Like, I like to do a lot of shit behind the scenes. However, like, we have done fundraisers for causes where we had to raise a lot of money. And to do that, you do got to kind of toot your own horn. And I had to put people on the spot. And, you know, God forbid, I hope this app works, right? Because if it does work, I'm going to donate money. I'm not in this to get rich. I'm in this to not have to work my ass off and be like, hey, welcome to Walmart when I'm 65. Or, I don't have health insurance because I'm too poor. I like to have fun on the internet, right? If I make a decent living and I can donate to other causes and help people out, to me, that's winning at life. You know, I don't need a BMW. I don't need, 18 different houses. I just want to make a decent living and be able to help people. And, I appreciate that. And here's the thing is, when you go around telling people about all the good stuff you do, it just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like, I'm a believer. People would never believe this, but I'm actually a believer, and I don't want to get too much in the faith and stuff with you. You're right. But Mother Teresa, one of her favorite words was the F word, right? She used to say it all the time, so I figured if Mother Teresa can do it, I mean, that's historical fact. She used to like to swear. And here's the thing is, like, I like to mess with people because it's entertaining to me.
Well, and that's the thing that I don't think people realize about you is because you stir the pot. Because I think you like to stir the pot, but also you want to see the reactions and the things that it happens because you know that will drive attention and it will drive some views. And
honestly, I don't even care about any of that. I just like to mess with people. Sometimes, like if there's those remote calls like on the Speed Network with Mike and Ira. I like to have a good time. Like, I'm, no offense to anybody, I'm the center of the universe, man. You guys all here for my entertainment. So, like, if I'm messing with somebody, it's just to have a good time. Like, I like to, like, I know when I'm going to be a smart ass or say something weird, right? So I'll start watching everybody's face, and then I'll see the one guy who, like, made a big joke out of it. I've always been that way. Like, I like to make things. I live in the awkward. I think that's why Andy Vargo and I get along. He's the awkward career guy. Own Your Awkward. Wrote a couple of books. But I think that's why him and I get along because, dude, I love making things awkward. I'm just gonna put it out there. I love it when it's weird, And I think that's why the Did It for Likes group is so much fun. And in that group, right, there's some degenerate stuff that gets posted in our Facebook group, but I have a rule about no politics, no religion, no race stuff. Now, every once in a while, people break the rules, but it's been a long time since somebody went clear over the. I mean, if you think about it, there's a couple thousand people in that group now, and they're different walks of life, different color, different shapes, different creed, different political parties, which in this day and age says a lot. But all these people get along. I mean, like, every day I get inbox message after inbox message about how that group made their day, right? And here's the thing. If I start pigeonholing like Service Professionals Network and what that is in certain people's minds versus what I want it to be or what it could be, I'm going to lose out on that type of people. And with my website, like, I don't care if I'm ever Facebook big and the size of, Mark Zuckerberg and all that, right? I want to have a good damn time. I want other people to have a good damn time. I want people, when they look at their phone, go, damn, I got to check in to see what my friends on SPN are doing. Like, it doesn't even have to be the world's greatest app if you have the world's greatest people, right? And I mean, like, literally, like, when I get online to have fun with people, mess around with my friends. Guess what? That's how I make new friends. And a lot of people talk about audience this, audience that. And, part of the reason why I mess with people is because I know what I'm doing in regards to my website. I know what I'm building. I know that culture takes time to develop, right? And sometimes, you got to be kind of a hard ass with your boundaries and the things that are acceptable and the things that aren't acceptable if you want to cultivate the culture. Look, I see a lot of rude, ignorant shit. Sometimes it's misogynistic as hell. And I'm surprised anybody follows me, right? But I'm consistent. Like, I mean, like, I don't like racism. I don't like people getting mocked, based off the religion, just be nice. Like, I got 2 rules, the golden rule and hashtag don't start none, won't be none. Like, to me, like, that's pretty simple. And some guy told me like a couple months ago, he's like, you're not SPN material. I was like, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, you told me to go jump in the lake. I'm like, well, you're being rude to somebody. He's like, yeah, but that's not following the golden rule, man. Did you have to call me out in front of all those people? Like, yeah, dude, the whole reason why I started this. And they're like, you didn't start us. I'm like, no, I did. I own the website. Like, I can literally prove to you I started this shit, right? Like, it surprises people because, like, look, I like to tell people that I'm the lowest common denominator. I lower the bar. Like, if you're ruder than I am, you can't be in the group. There's a lot of room to work with.
Yeah, that's oh, really.
I mean, look, people, I like to give myself shit, and a lot of other people like to give me shit because I'm rude or I'm crude and I'm all this and that under everything under the sun, right? But how many people have you actually seen do more public apologies than I have? I mean, I put my foot in my mouth more than anybody I've ever met. You know what I mean? But I own that crap. Like, I'll go up, like, Damon, if I said something bad about you today, you better believe I'm going to apologize tomorrow. And my disrespect and my apologies are equally as loud. I mean, as awesome as I am, I've had to humble myself many times.
Yeah. Yep. That's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, you do apologize.
I love fucking
you get caught up in it and you say stuff, and that happens.
Sometimes I'm not gonna mention names, but sometimes I won't apologize at all. I just, you know what I mean? Like, if people really step in it, like that shed ghoul guy, whatever his name, I'm not gonna like ever apologize to that guy. He's never gonna be welcomed on my site. Look, if you're not out trying to scam people and misrepresenting yourself or do anything fraudulent or picking on people for any reason, really, we'll probably always get along. You know what I mean? If you don't take life too seriously, we'll probably get along. Like, if you realize that half the dumb shit I say is like totally a joke, we'll probably get along, right? But I mean, come on.
So your app is coming out soon. I know it's been frustrating.
I just makes me want to kick a kitten. No, I'm just joking. All you vegans out there, just relax. I was just joking. Yeah. I haven't kicked a cat in forever.
Yeah.
I had to make it awkward.
Yeah. No, I was expecting it. So it's good. We've got what you do though, I mean, is obviously you're going to learn the process. You're going to figure out what it is and fight your way through and get things done like you always have.
Here's the thing. I got approved from Google. Google's pretty cool, right? And I don't want to say anything bad about Apple for many different reasons, right? But here's the thing that Apple and I are going to come to an understanding on is that I may live with my mom, right? I obviously don't have Zuckerberg money, right? I pay most of my bills on time. I'm not missing meals because I'm fat, all right? But my point is, I'm a little guy. My business, I'm a big guy, but my business is little. I'm a one-man shop, right? I just got a big mouth and talk like I'm a big corporation, right?
Yep.
I am a third-party social media platform, just like Twitter, just like LinkedIn, just like Facebook, right? And I need to be held to the same standard, that they are, right? And the what I'm saying is, I understand people need to be able to block people. I mean, they need to be able to report content. I have that stuff on the site. It's on the app. It wasn't working consistently, right? But here's the thing is, when you come to my website, I want you to feel comfortable posting whatever it is that you want, just like you would on Twitter. And you go to Twitter, every other person's naked in my feed. Maybe I follow just a bunch of schmutt. I don't know. Maybe I'm outing myself here. But what I'm saying is, if you go to Twitter, there's obscene stuff. You go to Facebook, there's obscene stuff, right? Even on LinkedIn, I see borderline obscene stuff, right? So when they're looking at my site, they're like, so-and-so posted this and you didn't delete it, or so-and-so posted this and you didn't delete it. My thing is this: I'm a big believer in the freedom of speech, right? Now on Facebook, in the Did It for Likes group, I tell people to avoid race. I told people to avoid politics. I tell people to avoid this, right? Because those are the rules of Facebook, put forth. And I'm not saying they're bad rules. They're good rules, right? Well, I'm a big fan, huge fan of freedom of speech, right? And I have the golden rule on my website. So, you can't go around being an asshole, right? But at the same time, I don't care what you post. It's your name. If Damon posts something that's offensive, that's up for Damon to decide if he's offended or not. If Sue, Paul, Jacob, and Curly Sue don't like it, I don't care. I mean, is it like something that's homophobic? No, I don't care. Is it, something that, hates black people or white people? No. Okay. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like there's such a few things that like really are, protected. Like hate speech obviously isn't going to fly. Right. But if somebody wants to post, I got in trouble for some of the memes on my website. It's part of the things I had to fix. Right. I'm like, I'm opening myself up here to the internet. Like, I'm not responsible for what people post. I shouldn't be more so than Facebook or Twitter. I mean, how much money do I got to pay to Apple? And this is just a facetious question, and it's not agreeing to permission. All right. But how much money you got to pay to play? You know what I mean? Like, I've already went through the time to develop this website, put all the pieces together, and now you're telling me, Damon might post something offensive, so I don't know if we can do your app. It's like, what does that mean? No offense, but who's Damon to this decision? You know what I mean? Like, approve my app. So we'll see. Yeah. I'm excited.
I know what you're saying, and I know that there are people that don't like the boundaries and the way that you push them or other people push them, and it's just the way it is. And I appreciate the fact that you're if we don't have people around us, I'm personally, I'm not one that's going to push boundaries. I will in other ways, but it's not the same way.
You're a nice, respectful guy. I'm surprised you hang out with me sometimes.
I will tell you that I believe that people that speak the way that you do and do the things you do are necessary, because if we all become the same, and this is what, I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit here, because you know what?
I've been doing it. Go ahead.
If you're sitting here and you only look at me, if I only hang out with people that think like I do, look like I do, live where I live, do all the things that I do, what the hell are we really going to be? You said it earlier,
right?
The United States is a great country because it's a melting pot. All these different things coming together and making all this, and some people don't get along and some people don't. I mean, that's a good thing. That's part of this, because I look at, and I told this to my kids. My kids are both older, 21 and 26, right? And they don't know it. And my daughter was saying something to me the other day, and I said, you grew up in such a homogenized world, you don't even know. And she's saying something, and I was like, I love her to death. And now she's realizing that, that we grow
They're not
up.
preparing kids nowadays. They're not preparing.
Not like it was in the past. We never. Now you think back when the country was being formed.
Dude, you want to hear something rough? I was picking my nose once in 3rd grade. Got a bloody nose, right? Told my teacher I got a bloody nose. You know what she did right in front of the whole class? She said, "Quit picking your nose, O'Connor." Everyone laughed at me. It was horrible. Yeah. It was in a big. Guess what? I quit picking my nose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, nowadays, the teacher would be like, "Oh, I didn't see him picking nose." Well, you saw the kid picking his nose. This is like, don't go knuckles deep, dude. You know what I mean? Like, it just, it is what it is. It's not everything's black and white, but at the same time, you don't have to like sterilize everything. It is, I mean, like, I miss old school humor, man. I miss being able to tell a joke and not worrying if I that's a lie, because I really don't care if somebody gets offended, because look, I've said a lot of weird crap, misogynistic crap. I've said self-deprecating crap, right? And nobody's really called me out yet, because I don't feel like I ever crossed the line, because it's common sense, man. And some people may not like the way I speak, or may not like the fact that I call somebody out, right? I'm one of those guys, like, if you don't give me a reason to call you out, I'm never going to call you out, right? Like, I don't just come to your post and mess with you for no reason. I don't come to your podcast and make bogus comments, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, I'm not your pretend things are okay when they're not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in screaming fire in a crowded building. But if there's a fire, I'm like, yeah, you guys, there's a little bit of smoke over here. You might want to exit out. Like, I'm not just going to sit there and watch people burn, like that guy I had an argument with on your show. Like, if you're speaking the truth, we got no problem. You know what I mean? I don't care if look, I was a bouncer for years. So that might surprise people. You know how many times I got in a fight when I was actually in my bouncing role? Never. I worked in some like hardcore bars. There was bar fights. I'd break up, 3 or 4 altercations a week, every night, right? Never get in an altercation. Do you know why? There's no reason to. If I'm actually busting somebody's chops online, it's usually because I didn't understand what the hell they were saying, and I got a little too quick to jump the gun, for which it's one of the many apologies I made. But 9 times out of 10, they're saying something I know that's not true. Like, if you want to see me get hot, man, just say something that's not true, or put me in the spot. Like, it's surprising how many people have actually said things on these podcasts, or they expect me to go along with it. It's like, no, Charlie, it's not going to be that type of square dance, buddy.
Yeah. It's good that I mean, and that's, like I said, if you're all around the same kind of people, and you don't hear people that call things out the way you do, honestly, once in a while, it's not really good. I think we have to, part of embracing okay, I want to back up a little bit here, because I think I grew up a little differently than most people. I graduated with a class of 16 people, right?
Holy cow.
Yeah.
How'd you know all their names?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So you look at that. I didn't have 400 kids in my class, and I could go hang out with my clique because they were the same as me and liked the same things as I had. We had to learn how to get along, because there wasn't a hell of a lot of other people to talk to, right?
Yeah, right. You don't want to be the one guy that doesn't get along with somebody.
Yeah. It's like, it's a lonely damn day, and
that's probably why you're so easy going now.
And the thing is that we need to do that. We need to be able to understand that. We need to, even when someone says something, it's going to go, as long as it's not hurting people, right? Like you're saying, golden rule: treat somebody like you like to be treated, and do it right. I think that we have to embrace more of that, and we have to be willing to listen to some stuff that we don't necessarily appreciate or understand, because, man, you
nailed it right there on the head, right? Because here's the thing: if you stifle everybody from speaking freely, you know what happens? People start wearing masks. People start being one way in public, and I am the antithesis of that. I'm the same guy everywhere. People are like, "Oh, why do you make such bad jokes online? Or why do you tell people you live with your mom? Why do you smoke pot? Why do you tell people you smoke pot? Why do you do this? Why do you do that?" Look, I have thousands of people that follow me. I don't know why they do, right? What's going to happen if somebody came out and say, "Hey, everybody, Michael Connor smokes pot"? They'd be like, "All right, well, we know." Or Michael Connor swears. "Oh, we know that too." You know what I mean? Yeah. And some people actually know I do good things, right? And every once in a while, I'll bring those to attention, right? I'm comfortable being known for what I am, right? Like, look, we don't all have to get along to the point to where you're coming over to my house for a barbecue and I'm coming over to your house. Like, we don't need to come to Thanksgiving, right? Not for me to want you to wish you a happy holiday. You may not be eating at my table. I still want you to eat. I still want you to have fun, right? Yeah. When people come to my website or come to my group, I want to be free to comfortable to say whatever they want, as long as it's not hate speech. Like, I like to laugh. I think a lot of people, even on LinkedIn, they get so stuffy with like, "Oh, this is LinkedIn. This isn't Facebook," or this is this. Look, people got to get out of the mindset, and for many different reasons, right? Some people are like, "I act this way on LinkedIn. I act this way." And trust me, if you think I'm a jerk on LinkedIn, you should go see my Facebook. It's entertaining. I find it might get me committed in some states. But my point is, right, if it's online, people can see it. So if you're one person on LinkedIn or you're somebody else, I ever brought up Twitter or Tinder with you before, right? I told you I mess around with anything that's online. I've been on it, whether it's Tinder, Grindr, any of these other websites. I checked it out. Why not? I don't care. It's a backlink. I'm a social media whore. I'll put my link on it. I'm the guy that, when I was in school, all the rock bands would put their bumper sticker everywhere. That's what I do with my website. Oh, join the Service Professionals Network. I put it everywhere. I don't care, right? And so I met this, on Tinder. I had some chick match up with me, and she was a tall chick. She's known as a feminist on LinkedIn. A lot of followers. Won some awards for her women empowerment work, right? And she made a post on LinkedIn. What's funny, she used the same profile picture in both, right? So it was really easy to identify him, same town, right? Same work, right? And let me tell you, what she put on Tinder, especially in private message, was very different than the stuff that she put on LinkedIn. And
Well,
I couldn't help
yeah,
myself. I just so happened to see her on LinkedIn the next day, and she made one of these big posts about, be the same person everywhere, right? And she made a big post about it, and it had like, I don't know, 50, 100,000 likes. I had a lot of likes, right? So the comment I made, she blocked me from LinkedIn, she blocked me from Tinder, she blocked me from everywhere because of this comment, right? And all I asked, my comment was, how about Tinder? Question mark, and that was it. She made this big long diatribe about be the same person everywhere, and it's like,
yeah,
you're not, like, you're being a women empowerment, but you're submissive on Twitter, like, it was fun, but it's kind of like why I try to tell people, it's like, I'm not afraid of what I do on Twitter. I'm not afraid of what I do on Facebook. If I was, I wouldn't say those things, right? Like, I want to be the guy that pushes the boundaries, because, like, I believe, like, if people don't push the boundaries will be pushed back upon you, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm one of those guys, like, if you give up one liberty, you're going to give up all of them, right? And, I'm not a gun nut, like, I don't like having 52 guns, I'm not like, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to protect gun rights, the Second Amendment. Like, I think everybody should have the right to buy a gun because that's American, that's what makes us different. And not only that, right? But with all the things that, all the crazy people that we elect and the crazy things that we do to people, it's probably a good idea that we all have the guns and we're known as the crazy Americans with guns, right? Because nobody's going to invade us, right? You know what I mean? Like, our politicians could screw things up and we can lose all our nuclear weapons. And nobody's like, I'm not messing with those Americans. Everyone's got guns,
yeah.
12 guns per American, come get some, you know?
It would pose some challenges, that's for sure.
If you think about it, we got the best country in the world, man. Best real estate,
Well,
best of everything in there because it's
you
big.
get back to that. I mean, you get back to that, and I can hear it in your voice, and you're a citizen of the U.S. You like the country where we live, and I think that's one of the things that grounds a lot of us, is that we don't agree with everything. We're not the same. We don't want to be the same. Don't think the same things. But when we have some basics to understand, is that we are citizens of this country. And we are people, and if you're a good person, that's really all that's what matters more than your political aspirations or affiliations or whatever the hell you're supposed to call it.
Getting going on politics is dangerous with me too, because I'll open a whole bunch of can of worms that everybody
Yeah,
has
we're
to
not
know.
going down. We're not going down.
But no, I'm just saying, like, like, I have strong political opinions. I think if everybody followed the golden rule more, this country would be great. And the one thing I will say about politics in this country is we do a lot of tit for tat, and we elect this person and things are this way for 4 years, and then we elect somebody else and then they undo all the shit the other guy did for 4 years, right? And then it just, every time we elect somebody, they undo things instead of constantly moving us forward as a country, as a society, as a global leader, which hopefully we still are, the way people are behaving, right? We should always be the leader. Like, that's what America is about. We're the longest running republic, and our constitution's the oldest in the world because it's pretty good. It's broad enough to help everybody, general enough to go through time, right? But solid enough to provide some serious rights, and we can't let people take those, right? And we got to be working on extending those for all people, whether we agree with them or not, because when we don't make it equal for everybody, you're not making it equal for yourself or your future generations.
Yeah.
And black, white, it doesn't matter. We mix up more and more all the time, and no matter how weird people get about that, you're never going to change the wheels of progress, right? And all our political leaders are doing are really just kind of slowing things down. I mean, universal health care. We have how many billions of dollars a year going to bombs and going to, like, foreign bribes. Let's call it what it is. I mean, we give billions of dollars to different countries all around the world to help them with things. Why can't we do healthcare? Why is, if I get a few band-aids or bumps and bruises, it costs me $600 to get 3 stitches? Why? Like, it doesn't even make sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. If I was going to get into politics, they'd be the Golden Rule Party.
we can go down in a rabbit hole there for a lot of hours, that's for sure. But
You know, I'm curious to see what happens, with the election and with the SPN local website, because like, here's the thing is some people are like, ask me like, oh, are you going to discourage politics on the website? There hasn't been a lot of it. Right. And people ask me if I'm going to discourage politics or if I'm going to discourage memes or if I'm going to discourage that. Like, no, like, honestly, like, everybody's welcome. You can have the crazy Republicans, crazy liberals, crazy Christians, crazy Muslims. I can have crazy everybody. I don't care. Bring all your craziness. Come let me know how you feel. Join my website. If you think I suck, come tell me I suck too. I see people make fun of Mark Zuckerberg all day long on Facebook. You know why he doesn't change that or delete it, right? Because he still makes money. He doesn't care. Like, yeah. I don't want to be like Mark Zuckerberg, but I'd like to have some of his problems.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just it's good to be able to talk with you, Mike. And, I still think back to some of the very first conversations we had, and you are consistent. I will say that. You are.
Yeah. My therapist wouldn't believe it when I tell him that. Like, I'm a pretty consistent guy. I appreciate you telling him that.
Yeah. And that some of the things that we've talked about, and quite honestly, you've helped us at Exit Your Way Execute have helped us an awful lot. And I think that they get down into the underbelly of things, that you're get your app going, you're going to be able to get that thing rolling, and I think your site's going to continue to go, because like you said, you look back a year ago and you were getting a few people a week. Now you're getting people every day, and more people.
When I first told people that I was making a social media website, they had me committed. Literally, they're like, "You're crazy." Nobody's had me committed in a long time since then. You know what I mean? Nobody's called me crazy. Less people laugh at me now, right? And and I don't ever want to be the guy like that gets like too cocky or like too proud of what he's done. Like, I'm not doing this website just for my enjoyment or my my stand. I want to do something cool with it. Like, I want to help people, and I think that with the technology the way it is in this world, right? And here's the thing: somebody asked me, it's like, "Oh, would you join my social network?" Yeah, like, if I could make this right and show other people how to do something like that, and they were to build their own platform, like I said earlier, I'm a social media whore. I'll put my link on it. I'll come check it out. I mean, that's what it's about. People helping people, and I think if you carry that attitude with you in life, no matter what it is you do, you'll be just fine.
Yeah. Well, Mike, it's great to have you on. I'm going to wrap her up here. We're getting late in the day for you, and appreciate you coming and spending your.
I appreciate the invite.
And you got the Service Professionals Network. Is it Service
Professionalsnetwork.com. I should have made a shorter domain name. Live and learn.
I can spell it, but I can't say it.
SPN local. So
SPN local app. That's a good app. It's easier to get the app. It's a lot easier to spell too.
Yeah. People are still going to forget. It's going to be really cool. I like the logo with the two little green guys. I'm hoping that, people like that. And if I get that across 100,000 phones across the world, I'd be happy. That's all I want. 100,000 downloads. That'd be cool.
There you go, man. Well, great.
I appreciate you. I hope you have a great day.
Go SPN. Talk to you later, man.
Thank you, sir.